Hello, all you coin collectors out there, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at some U.S. nickels or 5 cents coins and just take a look at the mint marks and kind of how they did it and how they were different. And these are those coins right here. And so let's start and look at them one by one. Okay, the first one that we have here is the U.S. nickel 19 or 5 cent coin from 1981. As you can see, it has a D mint mark underneath here. You can see there is an FS for Felix Schlag, who was the engraver of these coins. Now, these coins were first produced in 1938 and were produced until 2003 in this variety. There were a couple war years where they made them a little bit differently and actually had some silver ones in the 1940s. And also in the 1940s, there was a P coin where the P was on the back above the Capitol Dome, or the Monticello Dome, sorry about that. So if we look at this coin, we see that it is a copper nickel coin. It weighs 5 grams. It says, "In God We Trust" on this side, Liberty, with a kind of a star here, 1981, and there is the D for the Denver Mint. Now, at the Denver Mint in 1981, they made a lot of these coins. They made 365 million, approximately, 364.8 million. On the back, it says E Pluribus Unum. There's Monticello, and you know it's Monticello because it says it right underneath. 5 cents here. It's that cents, plural with an S, in United States of America. Now, this reverse was also engraved by Felix Schlag. So he did both the front and the back. Now, the next coin we'll look at is another 1981 D. And right up front, you'll be able to see that it is a little bit different when we start looking at the D. And this is something that happens to these D coins. Whether it happens at the mint or occurs afterwards, it's kind of hard for me to tell because there are just so many of these that are in reasonably good shape that don't have this crushing. We call it sometimes the filled D version. So if you look at this, and this is about as big as we can get, you can see that D is a D. There's a center in it that isn't filled. And then you see this one, and it's almost hard to recognize what this is. It is a D, but it's been kind of crushed down and the center has been filled. So this is what we might call the 1981 filled D coin. Next we have the 1981 P coins. And P is for the Philadelphia Mint. And so let's move this one out of the way. And there's the P, and very clearly a P there. The Philadelphia Mint in 1981 produced way more than the 365 million Denver. They produced 657.5 million of these. 657.5 million of these nickels or 5 cent coins with a P on them. And they also had some differences in their variety, and you can see this one. And see how this P actually kind of becomes less and less distinct. A little bit longer or a little bit different, and this might even look like somewhat like a filled D, except you can tell there's a little bit of a size difference there. But so this P, you can tell clearly a P. This one's a P, but it's been kind of beaten down either at the mint or later. Sorry about those flashes. So between these two mints, the D mint and the P mint in 1981, they produced 1 billion, essentially 1 billion and 20 million or so of them, 21 million. And there was a huge number, and so if there were some differences in these in terms of small errors or filling errors, it's easy to understand when you produce a billion of anything. Now, in 1985, they changed the mint mark slightly, And take a look at this one. And I did some, I do one on the 1985, but look at this D compared to this D. So we put these two Ds together. That's a different D. I mean, it's just a different coin altogether. And then if we can find the 1985 P, not that one, not that one. How about that one? There's a 1985 P. Look at this P compared to this P. Clearly a different die altogether, different size, different shape. So they did change these after 1984 and to a much more distinct die and a much more wearable one, because these 1985 and after, you almost never see any kind of filling of the P or the D. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Have a great day, and we'd love to have you leave comments in our comment section and subscribe to our channel if you like World, International, and US coins.